Everybody, my name is Ryan Mann. I work as a research associate at Mississippi State with Dr. Mark McConnell. I'm standing here today with John Mark Curtis, who is the state coordinator for Quail Forever for Mississippi and Alabama. And we're standing here in a mock CP42 planting. It's a CRP practice that's utilized as a working lands program in working landscapes. So I guess a little more context on our location. We're out here at a research facility, the Brooksville Research Experiment Station. And it's an area where they do a lot of agronomic research out here, and it just seemed like a good area for us to do some future field days. So we've got a couple plantings that we did out here, and to kind of just get exposure, you know, for everyone who may not be out here for a pollinator planting or anything like that. Maybe they're out here on a demo trial for the soybean variety trials. But, you know, it kind of gets the thought in people's minds. They've already had a lot of people driving the roadside here about the blooms and whatnot.
A couple years ago, Ryan approached me about wanting to do this project and, you know, put in some of these example plantings to show landowners some of these, you know, practices that can be implemented through CRP out here at the research farm. And, you know, was like, hey, you know, how do we go about doing this? You know, and we worked together to put together a seed mix to create these plantings. And like he said, here we did what would be, you know, classified as a CP42 pollinator planting within CRP. It's a diverse mix of native forbs that attract a lot of insects. This particular planting is only about an acre in size, and we planted it back in 2023 in April. And Ryan's got some good pictures of what that looked like when we planted this and why this is a good spot for this particular planting. You want to talk about some of the issues that the farm has with this particular acre?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of the premise of why this area was selected for this was you can see we're kind of at a low spot between all these fields, these converging fields. So a lot of water would build up here, and it would be problematic whether you're talking about planting something early in the spring. I think April 15th was our plant date, and you can see in the photo that, you know, that day there was standing water on this site. So obviously that's going to be problematic running any kind of equipment through here to be planting anything. It's also problematic, like we've had these wet falls, you know, hurricane seasons rolled through. We've had 2 already. And back here on this back end where the growth gets a little taller, it's still pretty moist back there. So again, there's moisture issues. Just basically, I say all that to say this is a low spot in the field. It caused agronomic issues, and it was more suited in a alternative cover type.
Yeah, and by not worrying about having to plant this every single year or wasting time in here, and honestly probably wasting money as well, right? You wouldn't get much of a crop in something this low.
Inputs have gone through the roof lately.
Yeah, for sure. So rather than planting this acre, you know, in some sort of crop, you can retire it, plant it in something that, you know, is a native flowering species, a diverse mix in this case. I think there was a little over 30 species in this particular one. I went a little crazy. But by retiring this, you can provide, you know, some benefits to some other things. You're not spending that money to try to plant it, and you're, you know, helping out a lot of pollinating insects and that sort of thing. And earlier in the year, before all of the showy tick seed actually ended up drying off and going to seed, back when it was in full flower, there were a lot of bees and butterflies in this particular field, even just being 1 acre. I came out here, oh goodness, trying to remember when that would have been, I guess in August.
I believe so. And
within 10-20 minutes saw 6 species of butterflies, including a monarch. And you'll see in the video that will be spliced in here, if you listen really hard in that video, there's you can just hear the roar of bees. They were everywhere. It kind of felt like I was in a beehive. So even this small 1 acre planting in a landscape that honestly is not very conducive to wildlife. This area has a pretty heavy is pretty heavy-handed ag.
Yeah.
Even in a landscape like that, with, you know, just even an acre of planting, you end up having some real benefits there.
Yeah.
So.
And it can serve, you know, obviously an economical purpose, because this may have been an area that the producer was putting, you know, money into that wasn't necessarily getting out of it. It's better suited in the annual payment. You know, they don't have to deal with it anymore, and you know, getting a lot of wildlife benefits from it. So it's kind of a win-win in all books.
Yeah, for sure.